The massive alien warship hung in Earth's orbit like a dark cloud promising storms. Commander Rex Smith stood at the United Earth Defense Force headquarters, his weathered face illuminated by the red emergency lights. The screens before him showed hundreds of similar vessels positioned around the planet. The Stellar Empire's invasion fleet had arrived without warning. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies," reported Officer Tom Wilson, his fingers flying over the holographic controls. The message was simple and devastating: your species has been deemed too aggressive for peaceful integration into the galactic community. Submit to immediate pacification or face extinction. You have 6 Earth hours to comply. Pacification. The word made Rex's stomach turn. Intelligence reports from other conquered worlds painted a grim picture: neural implants that stripped away aggression, ambition, and the will to resist. Entire civilizations reduced to docile workers, their cultures and identities erased. They think we're too aggressive? Rex muttered, watching the tactical display as military bases worldwide reported ready status. They haven't seen aggressive yet. The next 5 hours were a blur of activity. While the world's governments debated surrender, the military prepared. Humanity had always been good at one thing: adapting enemy technology. For decades, they had recovered crashed alien ships and reverse-engineered what they could. The aliens didn't know, but Earth wasn't as defenseless as they assumed. In underground bases across the planet, experimental weapons powered up. Orbital defense platforms, hidden beneath holographic camouflage, waited silently. Most importantly, the quantum transmitter was ready, a device that could bypass the aliens' sophisticated communication jamming. "All stations report ready," Tom announced as the deadline approached. "Waiting for your order, sir." Rex took a deep breath. In all of human history, no moment had carried more weight. Submit and lose everything that made them human, or fight against impossible odds. The choice was clear. He pressed the transmitter button. His voice would reach every human installation simultaneously. "This is Commander Smith. The aliens expect us to bow down, to let them strip away our very nature. They think we're too aggressive? Too dangerous? Well, I say they haven't seen anything yet. Humanity didn't climb from the mud to the stars by backing down from a fight. We didn't survive ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive nature by submitting. We survived by fighting back, by adapting, by refusing to give up." He paused, watching the countdown timer. "They think they know everything about us, but they've missed something crucial: humans are at their most dangerous when backed into a corner. All units, execute Operation Thunderstrike. Show them what human aggression really looks like." The quantum transmitter sent the activation codes. Across Earth, hidden weapons platforms revealed themselves. Experimental fighters launched from secret bases. And most importantly, the planetary shield grid, humanity's greatest secret, hummed to life. As the alien fleet opened fire, their energy weapons splashed harmlessly against the shield. The look of shock on the alien commander's face during the return transmission was priceless. "You dare resist?" the alien demanded. Rex allowed himself a grim smile. "We don't just dare, we excel at it. Welcome to Earth. Let's show you why you should have left us alone." And with that, humanity launched its counterattack. The war for Earth's freedom had begun, and the aliens were about to learn a harsh lesson: never underestimate humanity's will to fight back. The first wave of Earth's counterattack caught the Stellar Empire completely off guard. Hidden defense satellites activated, launching swarms of quantum-guided missiles that phased through the aliens' energy shields as if they weren't there. Decades of studying crashed alien tech had taught humanity their weaknesses. "Multiple direct hits confirmed," Tom reported, his voice steady despite the chaos unfolding on the tactical screens. Enemy fleet showing signs of disarray. The alien ships, massive as they were, began to break formation. Their commanders had expected an easy submission, not an organized resistance with weapons that could actually hurt them. 3 of their capital ships were already splitting apart, their crews evacuating in escape pods. "Launch the Thunderbirds," Rex ordered, referring to Earth's secret weapon, fighters equipped with reverse-engineered alien tech combined with human innovation. Unlike the bulky alien ships, these were small, agile, and piloted by humans who had trained their entire lives for this moment. Major Jack Rogers led the first squadron out of a hidden base in the Rocky Mountains. "Thunder Squadron, weapons free. Show these aliens what Earth pilots can do." The Thunderbirds were beautiful in action. While alien ships relied on energy weapons and predictable attack patterns, human pilots were creative and unpredictable. They weaved through enemy fire, using the Earth's atmosphere to their advantage, diving in and out of cloud cover. "Their ships can't handle atmospheric combat," Jack reported after his 3rd successful kill. "They're too rigid, too dependent on their computers. We're getting under their skin." Back at headquarters, Rex watched as humanity's carefully planned trap came together. The aliens had superior numbers and technology, but humans had something they didn't expect: experience in fighting against overwhelming odds. "Sir, intercepted communications indicate their fleet is calling for reinforcements," Tom announced. They're scared." "Good," Rex replied. "Fear makes them sloppy. Activate Phase 2. Phase 2 was perhaps humanity's boldest move. While the space battle raged above, Special Forces teams used short-range teleporters, another reverse-engineered technology, to board the alien ships. These weren't just any soldiers, they were members of an elite unit trained specifically for alien ship layouts and systems. Team Alpha reporting successful infiltration, came the whispered report. "These ships, sir, they're not built for internal defense. They never expected anyone to get inside." This was another advantage of human thinking. The aliens had built their ships like fortresses, focusing all their defenses outward. They hadn't considered that humans would find a way in. Now they were paying the price. The boarding teams moved through the alien vessels like ghosts, planting quantum disruption devices at key points. When activated, these devices would temporarily disable the ship's central computers, leaving them dead in space. "All teams in position," reported the Special Forces commander. "Ready on your mark." Rex checked the tactical display one last time. The timing had to be perfect. The alien fleet was grouped together, trying to form a defensive sphere. Just what they wanted. Execute. Across the battlefield, 30 alien capital ships suddenly went dark. Their weapons stopped firing, their shields failed, and their engines died. The crews, so dependent on their advanced technology, were helpless. "Message from the alien flagship," Tom said, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. They're asking for a temporary ceasefire to discuss terms." Rex allowed himself a small smile. This was just the beginning, but humanity had made its point. They weren't just fighting back, they were winning. "Tell them we'll discuss terms," he replied, "but first, they need to understand something. Earth isn't just another planet to conquer. We're humanity's home, and we will never surrender it. Not to them, not to anyone." As the battle paused, Rex knew the war was far from over. The Stellar Empire wouldn't take this humiliation lightly. They would return with a larger fleet, better prepared for human tactics. But that was fine, humanity would be ready. They always were. The ceasefire lasted exactly 6 days. Rex spent every minute of it preparing for what he knew was coming. The Stellar Empire's initial retreat wasn't surrender, it was a chance to regroup and analyze their failure. "New contacts detected," Tom announced on the 7th morning. "Much bigger than before. Long-range sensors are picking up at least 300 capital ships." Rex studied the tactical display. The new fleet wasn't just larger, it was different. The ships were darker, built for war rather than invasion. These weren't pacification vessels, they were planet killers. They're not here to convert us anymore, Rex observed grimly. They're here to make an example of us. The alien commander's transmission confirmed his fears. The face on the screen wasn't the same one as before. This was an older alien, with battle scars and cold eyes. I am High Admiral Vale of the Stellar Empire's Punishment Fleet, it announced. Your resistance has been deemed an unacceptable threat to galactic order. You will be eliminated. There will be no further warnings. The attack began immediately. This time, the aliens didn't bother with precise strikes. They launched planet cracker missiles, weapons designed to shatter continental plates. But humanity had spent those 6 days wisely. As the missiles approached Earth, thousands of small dots rose from the surface. Not weapons, but drones. Simple, expendable, and carrying one of humanity's oldest weapons, electromagnetic pulses. EMP swarms engaging, Tom reported. Missile guidance systems are failing. They're going wide. The alien admiral's face showed the first hint of confusion. EMPs were primitive technology, something the Empire had moved beyond centuries ago. But that was humanity's advantage, they knew how to fight at every technological level. Underground, in bunkers across the planet, humanity's next surprise was warming up. During the ceasefire, engineers had worked around the clock to combine alien quantum technology with Earth's most powerful particle accelerators. All stations report quantum cannons ready, Tom said. Targeting solutions locked. Rex gave the order. Fire. Beams of concentrated quantum energy erupted from hidden silos worldwide. The aliens' advanced shields were designed to stop energy weapons, physical projectiles, even their own technology. But they weren't prepared for this hybrid abomination of human and alien science. The quantum cannons bypassed their shields completely, using the aliens' own quantum field technology against them. Capital ships began breaking apart, their quantum cores destabilized by the human weapons. How? The alien admiral demanded, actual fear creeping into its voice. This technology shouldn't be possible. The quantum equations don't allow for this level of weaponization. Rex allowed himself a grim chuckle. You forgot something important about humans, Admiral. We don't care what your equations say is impossible. We make the impossible happen anyway. The battle raged for hours. The aliens had numbers and pure power, but humanity had innovation and desperation. For every ship they lost, the humans adapted their tactics. When the aliens adjusted their shields, Earth scientists were already working on countermeasures. But the real turning point came from an unexpected source. During the fighting, Earth's quantum sensors detected something strange, communications between the alien ships and something in deep space, far beyond the solar system. Sir, Tom called out, excitement in his voice. We've traced their quantum network. All their ships are connected to some kind of central command structure. It's how they coordinate their fleet movements. Rex immediately understood the implications. Can we access it? Better, Tom replied. We can overload it. The quantum feedback would cascade through their entire command structure. It was risky. The alien quantum network was incredibly complex. Trying to hack it could alert the Empire to how much humanity had learned about their technology. But they were running out of options. Do it, Rex ordered. Show them another human specialty, turning an enemy's strength into their weakness. As Tom's team launched their cyber attack, Rex watched the tactical display and hoped. Humanity had surprised the aliens with their aggression, their innovation, and their determination. Now it was time to show them one more human trait, the ability to win even when victory seemed impossible. The quantum network hack hit the alien fleet like a digital tsunami. Ship after ship lost control as the cascading feedback loop tore through their systems. But the effect wasn't quite what humanity expected. "Sir, something's happening," Tom reported, his eyes wide as new data flooded his screens. "We're not just disrupting their communications, we're accessing their entire database. Military records, tactical data, strategic plans, everything." Rex leaned forward, watching as classified alien documents poured into Earth's computers. They never imagined anyone could breach their network. They didn't even bother encrypting their sensitive data. But among the flood of information, one file stood out. It was marked with the highest priority, and its contents made Rex's blood run cold. "Earth isn't their only target," he announced to the command staff. "The Empire has been systematically hunting down and pacifying any species with aggressive tendencies. There are dozens of civilizations out there, all stripped of their will to fight." The implications were staggering. The Stellar Empire wasn't just an invading force, it was a galactic dictatorship, maintaining control through forced pacification. And now, their secrets were exposed. High Admiral Vale's face appeared on the main screen, no longer calm and confident. "What have you done?" "The network, you couldn't possibly understand what you've accessed." "We understand plenty," Rex replied. "We understand that you're bullies who prey on younger civilizations. We understand that you fear any species that might challenge your control. And now, thanks to your own network, we understand exactly how to fight you." The stolen data revealed the Empire's greatest weakness, their absolute reliance on the quantum network. Every ship, every weapon, every piece of their technology was connected to it. They had sacrificed security for efficiency, never imagining that a primitive species could exploit it. "All ships, execute Protocol Omega," Vale commanded desperately. But it was too late. The quantum feedback had spread too far, infecting their entire command structure. On the tactical display, Rex watched as alien ships began shutting down. Not just around Earth, but across nearby star systems. The Empire's entire regional fleet was paralyzed. "Sir," Tom called out, "we're receiving transmissions from other worlds. The pacification controls, they're failing. The quantum feedback is disrupting the neural implants." The screens filled with images from dozens of alien worlds. Species that had been docile slaves for generations were awakening. The Empire's control was crumbling, all because they had underestimated humanity's capacity to fight back. Vale's final transmission was filled with rage and disbelief. "You don't understand what you've done. Without our control, the galaxy will descend into chaos." "No," Rex responded firmly. "Without your control, the galaxy will be free. And humanity will be there to help our fellow victims rebuild." As the punishment fleet drifted powerless in space, Earth's military prepared for the next phase. The stolen data included coordinates for every Imperial installation in the sector. More importantly, it contained technical specifications for their pacification technology. "Send word to all commands," Rex ordered. "The war isn't over, it's just beginning. But now we're taking the fight to them." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Earth ships, now equipped with the Empire's own technical data, began jumping to nearby systems. Their mission wasn't conquest, but liberation. Humanity had learned from being the Empire's target, and they chose a different path. "First reports coming in from the Liberation Forces," Tom announced. "The Centauri system is free. The Rigel colonies are breaking their implant control. The Pleiades sector is rising up." Rex nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. Humanity hadn't just defended Earth, they had inadvertently sparked a galactic revolution. The Empire had feared their aggressive nature, but they had failed to understand that humans could channel that aggression into protecting others. "Send a message to all liberated worlds," Rex commanded. "Tell them that Earth stands ready to help them rebuild. The Empire wanted to make us submissive. Instead, they turned us into leaders of the resistance." 3 days after the quantum network collapse, Earth's Orbital Command Center hosted an unprecedented gathering. Representatives from 12 formerly enslaved species had arrived, each bringing tales of liberation and a burning desire for revenge against the Empire. Rex stood before them in the hastily prepared conference chamber, looking at faces that would have been impossible to imagine just a week ago. Some had scales, others had multiple eyes, and one species appeared to be made of crystalline structures. But they all shared one thing, the fire of freedom in their eyes. The Empire thought they could control us all, Rex addressed the gathering. They assumed that by stripping away our aggression, they could make us perfect citizens of their twisted utopia. But they didn't understand something fundamental about living beings: the will to be free can never truly be suppressed. A tall, reptilian being named Call, representing the Centauri systems, stood up. We watched what Earth did. While we were slaves in our own minds, you not only resisted, you found a way to free us all. We need your leadership. But before Rex could respond, the emergency alarms blared. Tom's voice came over the intercom, tense and urgent. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures. The Empire, they're burning their own worlds." The tactical display showed the horrible truth. The Empire, realizing they were losing control, had initiated what their records called the Purification Protocol. Rather than risk their technology falling into the hands of their former slaves, they were destroying their own infrastructure across the galaxy. "They're insane," whispered the crystalline being. "They would rather destroy everything than let us be free." Rex's mind raced. The Empire's actions were devastating but also desperate. They were revealing just how deeply humanity's resistance had shaken them. "This is their weakness," Rex announced to the gathered aliens. "The Empire's greatest fear isn't our aggression, it's our ability to unite, to work together. They would rather burn their own civilization than risk facing a unified opposition." The representatives looked at each other, centuries of forced pacification giving way to a new understanding. Humanity hadn't just shown them how to fight back, they had shown them how to work together. "We propose an alliance," Call declared. "Not an empire, not a forced unity, but a free association of species working together. And we want Earth to lead it." Rex shook his head. "Not lead, guide. We won't repeat the Empire's mistakes. Each species must maintain its independence, its unique character. What we can offer is our experience in resistance, in innovation, in turning weakness into strength." As they spoke, more reports came in of Imperial destruction. But for every world they burned, 2 more broke free of their control. The Empire's actions were only proving humanity's point: control through force was ultimately self-defeating. "They called us too aggressive," Rex continued, "but look at what they're doing. True aggression isn't in fighting back against oppression, it's in trying to control others, in destroying rather than accepting defeat." The meeting quickly turned into a planning session. Each species brought unique abilities to the table. The crystalline beings could process data faster than any computer. The reptilians had innate understanding of spatial mathematics. And humans brought their unending determination and creativity. "First priority," Rex declared, marking points on the galactic map, "is stopping the Empire's destruction. We need to save as much of their infrastructure as we can. Not for conquest, but for understanding. Their technology, turned to better purposes, could help rebuild free worlds." The Alliance's first joint operation was planned there and then. Ships from a dozen species, coordinating with human tactical guidance, would launch simultaneous strikes on Imperial purification centers. As the representatives returned to their ships, ready to spread the word of the new alliance, Rex received one more transmission. It was from High Admiral Vale, but the Admiral's voice had changed, it was heavy with fear. "You've done more than defeat us," Vale said. "You've shown the galaxy a different way to be strong. And that is truly terrifying." Rex smiled grimly. "No, Admiral. What's truly terrifying is what happens when you push peaceful people too far. The galaxy is changing, and humanity is proud to help guide that change. Operation Freedom's dawn began with the largest coordinated fleet action in galactic history. 5,000 ships from 12 different species jumped into Imperial space simultaneously, each bringing their unique strengths to the fight. From the command center of the flagship Hope, Rex coordinated with Tom and the Alliance fleet commanders. The tactical display showed Imperial purification centers as red dots across the galaxy, each one capable of destroying entire worlds. All ships report ready, Tom announced. The Crystalline Fleet's data processing is giving us real-time updates on Imperial movements. The Centauri battle groups are in position. Rex took a deep breath. This wasn't just about saving worlds now, it was about showing that the Alliance could work together effectively. Begin Phase 1. The human-designed strategy played to each species' strengths. Crystalline ships, nearly invisible to Imperial sensors, slipped past the outer defenses. Reptilian warships from Centauri, masters of spatial combat, engaged the Empire's defensive fleets. Earth vessels provided tactical support, their hybrid technology confusing Imperial targeting systems. First Purification Center neutralized, reported call from his command ship. The human strategy works, they never expected an attack from multiple vectors using different technologies. But the Empire wasn't going down without a fight. From their capital world, they launched their reserve fleet, ships darker and more terrible than any seen before. These weren't just warships, they were doomsday weapons. New contact signatures, Tom warned. They're massive. Energy readings off the scale. The Imperial superweapons lived up to their terrifying appearance. Their first volley vaporized 30 Alliance ships. The second took out an entire battle group. The Empire had been holding back their true military might until now. All ships, fall back and regroup, Rex ordered, but then he noticed something strange on his display. Tom, analyze those energy readings. There's something familiar about them. Tom's fingers flew over his console. Sir, they're using concentrated quantum energy. The same principle as our cannons, but on a massive scale. They're using our own innovation against us. Rex allowed himself a grim smile. Then they've made their last mistake. All ships, transmit combat data to the crystalline processors. Show them why copying human weapons isn't enough, you need human intuition to use them properly. The Alliance fleet executed a maneuver that would have been impossible without their combined capabilities. Crystalline ships analyzed the Imperial weapons' energy patterns. Human tacticians identified the firing algorithms. Centauri pilots plotted impossibly complex attack vectors. Now! Rex ordered. Alliance ships darted through gaps in the Imperial formation that existed for microseconds. The Empire's copied weapons, powerful but predictable, couldn't track their movements. More importantly, the Empire didn't understand the fundamental flaw in quantum weapons: the more powerful they were, the more vulnerable they became to their own energy feedback. All ships, target their weapon cores, Rex commanded. Show them why you don't use a weapon you don't fully understand. The Alliance strike was devastating. Imperial superweapons began to overload, their quantum cores destabilizing. The Empire had copied the technology but not the safeguards humans had developed through years of trial and error. Imperial fleet is in disarray, Tom reported. Purification centers are going offline across the sector. We're winning. But Rex noticed something else, something that made him realize this victory might be even more complete than they'd hoped. The tactical display showed Imperial ships firing on each other. Sir, Tom called out, excitement in his voice. We're picking up transmissions from within the Imperial fleet. Their own crews are revolting. Seems like not all Imperial citizens agreed with their leadership's decisions. Rex watched as the mighty Imperial fleet tore itself apart from within. The Empire's greatest fear had come true, not just that other species would resist, but that their own people would realize there was a better way. "Send word to all ships," Rex ordered. The Empire isn't just facing an external enemy anymore. Their own people are choosing freedom. Victory isn't just possible now, it's inevitable. 1 month after Operation Freedom's dawn, Rex stood in the grand chamber of what was once the Imperial Palace. The massive room, designed to intimidate visitors with its towering columns and elaborate displays of power, now served a different purpose. Representatives from over 50 species, including former Imperial citizens, had gathered for the signing of the Galactic Concordat. "The war is over," Rex announced to the assembled beings. "The last Imperial holdouts surrendered this morning. But our real work is just beginning." The past month had revealed the full scope of the Empire's control, and its fall. As Imperial ships turned against their masters, hidden resistance movements emerged on hundreds of worlds. The Empire's careful facade of total control had been hiding widespread dissent. Tom, now serving as Earth's chief diplomat, stepped forward with the Concordat document. "This isn't a treaty of surrender or a declaration of human authority. It's a promise that we all make to each other." The Concordat was something new in galactic history. Unlike the Empire's forced unity or the old systems of alliances and treaties, this was a declaration of principles. Every signing species would maintain its independence while committing to mutual defense and cultural exchange. "The Empire feared aggression," Rex continued, looking at the diverse gathering. "They saw our fighting spirit as a threat to peace. But they never understood the difference between aggression and the will to defend, not just ourselves, but others." High Admiral Vale, now the representative of the reformed Imperial worlds, stood to speak. His once proud uniform had been replaced with simpler clothing. "We thought we were creating perfect order. Instead, we nearly destroyed everything that makes life worth living. Humanity didn't just defeat us, they showed us a better way." The Concordat signing ceremony began. Each species approached in turn, adding their mark in their own way. The crystalline beings embedded data crystals. The Centauri representatives used their ancient family seals. Humans, staying true to their nature, simply signed their names with pen on paper. "There's something poetic about this," Tom remarked to Rex as they watched. "The Empire tried to force everyone to be the same. Now look, every species signing in their own unique way, celebrating their differences instead of hiding them." But the ceremony's most powerful moment came from an unexpected source. A group of young Imperial citizens, born into the old regime but raised in secret by parents who questioned its ways, approached the Concordat. "We request permission to sign," their leader said, "not as former Imperials, but as the Free Systems Alliance. We've learned that true strength comes from choice, not control." As the signing concluded, Rex reflected on how far they'd come. The Empire had attacked Earth expecting an easy victory over a primitive, aggressive species. Instead, they had unleashed a chain of events that reshaped the galaxy. "The stars are different now," he told the assembly. "Not because we fought back, but because we fought back for the right reasons. We didn't just resist control, we offered freedom. We didn't just break chains, we built bridges." The gathering moved to the palace's great balcony, watching as ships from dozens of worlds flew in formation overhead. Not in a display of military might, but in a celebration of unity in diversity. "The Empire asked why humans weren't supposed to fight back," Rex said, looking at the spectacular view. "The answer is simple, because once we did, everything had to change. And it changed for the better." As the new galactic community celebrated its first day, the lesson was clear. Humanity's greatest strength had never been their aggression or their fighting spirit. It had been their ability to stand up not just for themselves, but for others, to show that resistance to oppression could unite rather than divide. The Empire had feared humanity would fight back. They never imagined that humanity would fight back for everyone.